What's good? What's good? Share this out with 10 people. We're going to get my trademark attorney on here. We're going to talk about growing and protecting your $1 million brand. So, a lot of us have these crazy ideas and we don't know how to protect them. So, we start these companies and we grow them and we make them profitable, and somebody else comes steals our idea because we don't properly protect our intellectual property. So we're going to have my lawyer Brittany come on here and teach you guys about trademarking your brand. So let's get it. Share this out with 10 people. Get your notebooks and pen and pad ready. Okay, let me pin this. Boom. All right, and now we're waiting on Brittany to get up in here. Can I come on? I have one question. Give us a second. Let us.
Okay, I'm here. I don't know what's going on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what.
Instagram is tripping. They do not want us to be great. I'm like, what's going on? It said it ended. I kept trying to click in. Okay, now you're spinning a little bit. I'm a little nervous, so I'm going to try to talk as fast as I can to make sure we get this info out while we got a chance.
Am I good? You said I'm spinning?
No, it's good now. I mean,
Okay.
I have all my bars. I think Instagram just might be tripping. Hey,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, we're going to get this information out, though. So before we get started, I'm going to let you introduce yourself so people can get familiar with you, how we met, how we got connected, and what you do to help business owners like myself.
All right. So my name is Brittany, of course. I am the owner and operator of Your Brand's law firm. I think if I go up like that, we have simple search names. Black and white, we keep it simple. I am Your Brand's lawyer. I am originally from a small city right outside of Memphis, Tennessee. So I'm from South Haven, Mississippi, but I reside in Atlanta, Georgia, and I work with clients all over the United States. So it's not just based in Georgia. So all of my clients, really, I don't have that many Georgia clients. They're everywhere else. So I mainly work with intellectual property, doing trademarks and copyrights. We do business formations and some contracts. It just depends on the type of contract. But James and I, we have a great work relationship. You've been amazing. Just both of us starting out at the same time, looking at, how we've grown. Your trademarks, you are building a portfolio, which I love. We're currently waiting to hear back. Anytime he thinks of something, he calls and he's ready to protect whatever it is. So I love that. And literally, congratulations on everything you're doing, because whatever you say and you teach people, you actually do. And that's big in your field. So let's jump right in. I know we have a lot of questions, and let me know if you all can hear me, because it's kind of spinning, so it's making me nervous. Let's just jump right in, with questions and stuff. But mainly I want to focus on trademarks tonight. Like, how can you protect your brand and how to get started and things to help your application get pushed through.
Yeah, see, I think that's a great topic to go into, the application process, right? Because a lot of times, especially people in our community, we have a lot of great business ideas. We got a lot of great business people know how to make money.
Mm-hmm.
But where our community lacks is the paperwork,
yes.
Right? Yeah, we ain't got the trademarks. We ain't copyright nothing, right? Because we're nervous about the application process or working with attorneys and lawyers. So could you just talk about just what a trademark is and why it's important to have it? Because a lot of us are starting businesses and we can't get over the LLC part of it, but LLC doesn't matter if you don't have the trademark. So could we go over that?
Right. Yes. So I will say this, LLC, make sure you start with your business formation, right? And I have a lot of clients that come to me with a great business idea and name and things. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. We have to trademark it immediately. They might not even have their LLC yet, but we also offer the service. But I'm like, we need to get this file immediately because it's too good to just leave out. And then we'll worry about getting everything transitioned over to the LLC. So a trademark basically protects your brand. It's intellectual property. It's tied to a good or a service. So whatever good you offer, like if you sell clothing or if you sell makeup, that's a good. That's something tangible. I go to you, I check out, you send it to me in the mail, and I have it. It's something in my hand. I look at the packaging and it says Black Millionaires. That is the brand. That's the trademark. If you offer a service, I call you, I go to your website, I can make an appointment, I can retain a service from you. And when I retain the service, I get a receipt or I see a card and it has Black Millionaires on it. That's a brand. So you're trademarking your brand. And the main reason why we trademark brands is to make sure no one is able to come behind you with the same name and try to do the same idea and cause confusion. You don't want consumers to be confused. That's the whole point of trademarks. You don't want somebody to think they're ordering a Nike shirt and look at you trying to show out.
People to know why you dropping them gems. I want people to know these are the.
Oh my goodness, you gonna have look. Everybody gonna want that frame. I done told you put the thing up, but you offer goods and services, which is why we have a lot of pending trademarks right now, because you keep coming up with things and we keep filing, which is great. I love it. So you are a prime example of goods and services. So that's pretty much what a trademark is overall. You're protecting the brand. I have a lot of people that hit me up and they're like, yeah, I'm thinking about doing such and such, such and such. I'm like, but what is your brand like connected to? What is your good and what's the service you provide? So when we're starting to think about trademarking something, make sure you know what is your good, what is your service.
Could you talk about the process of how to select your lawyer, right? Because a lot of times what we think is, well, I'm gonna just go to this big law firm that Nike uses and they're gonna charge me $500 an hour and it's gonna come out to $10,000-$20,000, so I can't afford a trademark attorney, so I'm gonna do it myself. But the problem with doing it yourself is if you make one costly mistake, now you just cost yourself your entire brand. So could you talk about the process of selecting your attorneys and not doing it yourself? Because we have to get out of the mindset of if it needs to get done, I need to do it. Better, you have to become an expert of hiring experts, which is why I have you on here, and I'm not on here trying to pretend like I'm a lawyer. So could you talk about the importance of having a lawyer behind you help that process?
Yes, so with our people, and I'm guilty too, right? I'm a business owner, just like all my clients. Like we all have the same, things going on in the background. I try to do my website, I try to do my logo, I try to do when I first started, I was DIY everything. I wasted so much money. Oh my God. I had to do a complete rebrand. I'm like, I should have just, took the money that I was working for and invested it and did it the right way. And I have a lot of clients who come to me that tried it themselves, or either they went to LegalZoom, Trademarking, or those other, platforms, and it looks good because they be like $2 for a trademark, right? But you know how that's gonna work. They're gonna purposely mess up your application. So then when the process goes, they're gonna say, oh, well, this came up, and they're gonna say, well, it's gonna cost this for me to do that to fix this problem. So when you go to an actual lawyer, what's supposed to happen is we're gonna do it right. I don't have time for them to send me anything saying, hey, we need to correct this, change this, do this. We get it right the first time. If anything comes up, then we take care of it, because we don't do that whole little sneaky thing. A lot of times we fall for that. I have so many clients that will come to me with that, and I can't wait for their trademarks to get finished and complete so they can do their testimonies and see, like, I can't make this stuff up. It's important to allow an attorney to also work on it from the jump, because the USPTO has attorneys. So your trademark is reviewed by an attorney, and if something comes up, they're going to tell you, oh, you need to get an attorney to handle this. They don't have time to answer your questions and help you try to figure out what to do. I think it was over 1 million trademarks filed last year. Woo. They don't have time, right? Like they're working, and they're working for the government. So they're not in your best interest as it is, hiring an attorney. So I always advise, doing your research, making sure you can connect, right? It's so many attorneys out here, honestly. A lot of us do trademarks. I have a lot of good colleagues, but also everybody doesn't know everything to help you get across the finish line, right? So you just have to make sure you do your research and have a good vibe. I try to be as chill as I can. My clients know it's not no button up over here. We're going to keep it real.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it straight. And that's just how it is. It's just my personality.
Yeah. So talk about the scope of clients you work with, because a lot of people might, when you say you're in Georgia, a lot of people hear that and say, well, I'm in Minnesota, I'm in Detroit, so I'm gonna have to go to somebody in Detroit. And they end up never going to nobody because it's too close to home, and they just end up not. So let people know, because sometimes when working with a lawyer, you have to work with somebody in your state, but that's not trademarking, right?
So that's right. Most of my clients actually are New York, California, Florida. Georgia is picking up. God, everywhere. Detroit, Chicago is a major. I mean, honestly, everybody, because this is federal. So as long as when you're trying to decide, because as a business, you're going to have several different lawyers, you know, or for me, if you were to come to me and you like, hey, this is going on, I'm saying, okay, I need to put you with this person. This person handles this type of law. So when you're looking for a trademark attorney or a business attorney, you have to think, am I going to have to go to court for this? If you're going to have to go to court for it, that's when you stay within your state. But things like trademarks, copyright, some contract work, we work with clients all over the United States. So we can definitely help. I see Florida, I see Texas. Yeah, I have a lot of Texas clients. Yeah, a lot of them out of Houston, actually. So, yeah, we help clients all over the United States, right? This is federal, baby. We getting big registrations over here. We're not doing a lot of state trademarks.
Yeah. So could you talk about the difference between like a TM, when you see people with TM next to their name, that stands for, and the R next to their name, that stands for. So what's the difference between the two? Because when I first started my brand, I just put TM next to it because I saw a lot of other people had TM next to it.
Right. I always make that post, and you know, I be so weird and self-conscious about my Instagram and what I post. But that post always goes crazy because I be like, you know, the TM is cute. You know, it's cute. It look cute up there. But it means nothing. Stop putting that TM on stuff I done told y'all. So typically, when we file the trademark, some of my clients, they be so itchy. Like, I just want to put the TM. I be like, okay, when we get the trademark filed, you can put the TM. Make you feel good. But you R, we want the real registration, right? And you cannot put the R unless you actually have a federal registration. It can get you in some trouble. So do not put an R if you do not have registration. Sometimes also, if you put the TM by your name, right, and you don't have a trademark, and say someone else was already in business before you,
right,
and then you come up and you put the TM by your name, and then they see like, oh, they have a TM by their name, I know they didn't trademark it, then that's going to trigger them to, oh, let me hurry up and trademark it, and now I'm going to hurry up and come after you to make you take this down. Sometimes that TM brings unwanted troubles your way. Right. I, as a, you know, boring person, sometimes I love to see, oh, they got a TM. Let me see if they really got a penny application. I'm just being nosy because I'd be like, take that off. It means nothing. No help at all.
Could you talk about how getting the actual trademark strengthens and it increases the value of your actual brand? I was watching a video and Elon Musk talked about when they first started Tesla, they couldn't call it Tesla Motors because the guy up the road actually owned the name Tesla Motors. He wasn't with it, but they had to pay that guy like $80,000 in cash. And I don't know if he took if he got any stock or anything. So if you think about it, they started years ago, let's say 10, 15 years ago. They had to pay this guy $80,000 just for a trademark that he actually owned, that he wasn't doing anything with. So if you trademark your brand, you actually can be sitting on hundreds of thousands or billions of dollars.
Yes. That's where we as Black business owners and entrepreneurs, we mess up. Even even in life, right? Y'all know when nothing exists without us. All the creativity, the style, the name, everything comes from us. So when it comes to names and business ideas and slogans and phrases and logo designs, we create that. We decide what's gonna be the new, right? So we go out here and we put all of our energy into these things, and it's like, man, I'm just gonna sit here and just let it be out here, and then whoop, here comes Joe Smo right here, like, oh, this is a good idea. I got the money. I'm finna go ahead and try to take this right off of them, and I can steal it and go on about my business. Yeah. That's where we mess up, because we need to hold on to every idea, every creative thing that we think of, because it's all valuable and it's money, it's assets sitting right there. Your trademark becomes an asset when you get that art beside it. I think it was Barney's who, when they closed down, I think their trademark sold for over, I want to say $1 billion or multi-million or $1 billion. Yeah. Something. It was insane what the trademark portfolio sold for. So as you Black millionaires, you're building a portfolio. If anybody want to touch Black millionaire, they got to come with a coin, right? And then they're going to send the contract over, and we finna go through it. We finna see what this licensing agreement going to be like. So once you start building and you sitting on something good, that is an asset. We all talk about assets now. We're into it, into trading, stocks, real estate, anything to bring us assets and have stuff to sit on. A trademark is one of those things, and you want.
Yeah, so I think people don't understand the value of actually owning a brand name, right? So let me put it into context that a lot of people can understand. So I started Black Millionaires. I'm growing on social media. I got my things going on. And then other people started to copycat my brand. And what we did is went right to Facebook and said, hey, these pages are copying our brand. And a lot of people are like scam pages, just trying to get people out of money. But some of them were actual brands and people, and they were building. And one of the pages is so crazy. One of the pages got shared by Beyonce's mom, right? And there's a lot of people who know me, and they was calling me, oh, man, your brand is going crazy. Beyonce mama just shared your page. And when I looked at it, it wasn't my page. It was somebody copying my brand. And then I called you. We worked magic, and that page got taken down. It had I think they was on track to get like 100,000 followers just based off of my name. And they're selling, making money, doing everything off of my name, right? So that I spent the money to actually protect and own my name, I was able to come in, hey, take that down. You don't want to take it down? Okay, my lawyer going to get it taken down.
I sure was.
And all that money funneled right back to me, because people were spending money with them and they didn't understand, like, oh, this is not the real Black millionaires. This is a copycat. So a lot of y'all are out there trying to grow your brand. You getting some traction, but the money is going to other companies because they're stealing ideas because you actually don't own it, right? So this is why it's very, very important to trademark your brand. So let's talk about this. So when you're getting your brand trademarked, right? What's the process like? What do you have to do first? What are some steps that you can prepare to strengthen your application? Let's talk about steps moving forward.
Okay, so we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to jump and piggyback off of one thing you just said that's really big. I said I was going to make a TikTok. I might make a TikTok. I'm kind of feeling TikTok-ish. But another thing that gets us in trouble is a lot of us, sometimes we get caught in we have basically I can't think of the word, but we freeze up when it comes to getting creative, right? Trying to think of a name, or you started with this name and then you're like, oh man, I can't think of anything else, but you see something that's already like, and you add the Z, you add it, you make a S, a 5, or we do these things and we think, oh, it's changing the whole name, and it's not. It's not at all. We're still gonna come, and I still would consider that as infringement. So do not, we so often do not do this. Do not go and look and see that there's another name and then you add a little bit to it to think it changed their name, because y'all gonna end up using the same hashtags. You're gonna lose money. you're going to cause issues, rack up legal fees. Just get creative. Stop. Because if it's my client that you're coming after, or you taking their name, I'm coming. Okay. I'm coming. We do this all day. So I want y'all to remember to get creative when you're coming up with your names. Don't just add a hyphen here or something like that. Now, for the process, when is it a good time to trademark? I've seen this question pop up. This is like a catch-22. If you've already branded and started your business, you can still trademark. The biggest thing is, if we start the process and I run a trademark search that's outside of USPTO, we dive really, really deep, with our searches, because we're a law firm, so we have to do that. If I come back and say, oh my goodness, this is already trademarked, you're gonna have to start over because you're technically infringing. So that's the only part that's kind of tricky when you've already started your brand. Like, you have to either you're gonna be infringing or be infringed upon. So I try to tell people, depending on your budget, if you come up with a good idea, a good business idea, jump on it as soon as possible. When you're trademarking, you can either file as a 1A, which means you're already using your mark, or you can file as a 1B, which means you intend to use this mark. And it's like, okay, I want to start and put my application in. And I just need a little time to get everything together, my website, my products, my service site, anything like that. You just need time. That's a 1B application. I think it's just an additional fee with the USPTO that we have to pay in order for you to do a 1B. That right there is probably, I would say, the best option if you are just getting started and you are sitting on something good. Like, I mean, you don't want to wait in case somebody else already has that idea. A lot of times, and clients call me and they'll be like, I don't want to tell you my name. And I'll be like, oh goodness, everything's confidential. I can't just go out here. I'll be like, what you call me? You need to trust me. If you're gonna call me and talk, you need to be able to tell me your name. They be like, I don't wanna say my name. And they say their name, and I be like, I didn't seen this name a million times in the trademark search, baby. You're gonna have to go back to the drawing board. So it's just things like that. If it's something like that, I'd be like, okay, take your time, go back to the drawing board, come back to me, let's rework it. Or if they come to me and it's somehow, I'm like, I've never in my life heard this before, I'm trying to see what that's about, then I'm gonna say we need to do a 1B immediately. So right. It kind of depends. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna run a search. You're gonna get your opinion letter. We're gonna go through that. I'll give you a rating. We'll get the application drafted. We'll get it filed. I'll be responding to the office actions that'll be sent out. Those are like soft denials. Then they will publish it. They're going to put it out and say, hey, Black Millionaires about to have a registered trademark. And then we have to go through that phase. And then you'll officially be registered. It's about a 9 to 18 month process. Heavier on the 12, 13 right now.
Yeah. See, a lot of people, they hear that and they're scared and they say, okay, if it's going to take a year, I can get started next year. Listen, if your brand explodes and grows because of something outside of your control, and somebody else tried to take your brand and you waited because you had other priorities, I don't know what priority would be higher than actually trademarking and protecting the company you're trying to start. However, the business owners, they try to go invest in inventory and all this other crazy stuff. You could literally be costing yourself your entire brand. Let me tell you guys my story, right? Because a lot of people come in here and they just see me for me now. But
right,
2 years ago when I started my brand, so I had a best friend who was best friend since college, right? And we always used to talk about business. This all we talked about was business, right? And we used to do odd jobs, and I was doing all this stuff, wasn't making no money. And then we came with the bright idea to come up with a brand together. And we came up with the name. And once we came up with the name, we like, okay, let's move forward. So I invested $150. My business partner at the time invested $150. And 3 days later, he like, no, give my money back. I don't want to do business with you. I'm done. I got the text message. I wish I could show y'all, right? So I cash app him the $150. And I go on and buy. I couldn't get my money back because I bought the domain name. I think I bought like not Canva. I bought Adobe Illustrator to create the logo. I did the things that I couldn't get money back from, right? So I was like, well, I'm stuck. So now I got to put up all the money. I'm in business myself. 3-4 months later, my business is blowing up beyond my control. I don't understand. Like, I'm just doing the things that I'm naturally good at. My business explodes. I quit my job. I'm making $10,000-$20,000 a month. And I'm like, oh my God, all right, I need to take this brand to the next level. I want to make $50,000 a month. I want to make $100,000 a month. And what happened is, because my brand is Black Millionaires, a lot of rich people start reaching out to me. They like, okay, I like this brand. Let me pick your brand. And one thing I noticed is they kept asking me, so do you got a trademark? Do you own this? And I'm like, yeah, I own it. I got the Instagram name. I got the domain name. They're like, so do you have a trademark? And I'm like, no. I didn't even know what a trade. I'm like, what is a trademark, right? So they like, oh, okay. And the one guy was like, oh, okay, I'll give you $300,000 for the business. And I'm like, what do you mean $300,000 for what? What do you mean, the Instagram page? What are you trying to buy? And then I realized he was trying to buy the name, but I didn't have it, right? So I scrambled and I Googled. I just Googled like lawyers, trademark attorneys, right? And it's crazy. Well, no, I actually didn't Google. I looked it up on Instagram. I was like, tell lawyers, because I was the person thinking the person had to be in Atlanta. That's how I was thinking. No, I ain't know no lawyers at the time. So Brittany came up, but she was like the 5th or 6th lawyer I talked to. Every lawyer I had a consult, I paid a lawyer like $250 for a consult. They told me I couldn't do it. And the other lawyers had like free consults. They said I couldn't do it. And I ran into Brittany, and I'm like, man, so many people telling me I can't trademark my name because Black is a very common term and millionaires is a very common term, right? Brittany said, this is going to be a hard trademark, but I'm not going to turn you down. I love your energy. I love your enthusiasm. We're going to work together, right?
Yep.
And when we submitted the application, I don't know if we had some troubles or whatever we was going through. Brittany was there with me every step of the way. I'm calling her. Hey, when the trademark going to be? You know what I'm saying? Because brand kept going up. Like, my brand never stopped. So if I didn't apply for the trademark way before my brand got to where it's at now, that person, that rich person with way more money than me at that time, could have put 10 lawyers on it and took my brand. And I would have been working at that job that I hated, right? So if you guys have a brand right now, no matter where your stage is at, it doesn't matter. You need to apply and you need to get your trademark submitted. If it takes 12 months, 18 months, it doesn't matter the time, because you're not planning to be out of business in 18 months. So we're playing the long game. We're planning to leave these companies to our kids. So if it's going to take a year, you're going to be alive in a year. Business in a year. So get started now. So what would you say to people who are saying, I'm going to just hold off, I'm going to save a little more money? Because I know you hear that a lot. I'm going to flip. I'm going to buy my T-shirts and flip the T-shirts. And once I flip the T-shirts 3 or 4 times, then I'm going to come back and talk to you. What would you say to those people?
So first, I will say, as soon as we file your application, your protection starts. The only way the protection ends is if you do not get approved. Your protection starts right then. For someone, it kind of depends. Sometimes I have, some clients and their situation financially is just like, oh, I don't want you to spend your last dime on a trademark, right? I need you to make sure your business, you're putting everything into the business as well. So it kind of depends, but the ones that I see, and you have one of those names or a fire logo, I'm like, we got to make it work. You got to this shape. You got to make it happen, because I have too many stories. It would take me all day of clients who said, hold on, I got to get the money, or hold on, I'm going to wait a minute and kind of build up. And they come back and somebody already done filed a trademark. Let me tell you why this, because now we have to watch. You got to pay me to watch this other mark. We have to send out a cease and desist. Now we got to negotiate with the other lawyer on the other side. I got to try to make them take this application down, stop their process, or either we're going to be fighting in the end. So it's just those things that come up to where it's not simple when we wait, and then we could have prevented all of this and had your application filed. So it kind of just depends on what, going on with, the type of mark, what it is. But this is one of those things where if you got it, and can invest it, go ahead and get it done. And a lot of people are they want to know the price. Trademarks range anywhere from $2,200 to $3,200. So it depends, right? I can't just name a price because I don't know if it's a logo. I don't know how many classes. I don't know what you have going on. But I do offer discovery calls where you can tell me what you got going on, and I can tell you, okay, I think you need to file a 1A, 1B, 1 class, 2 class, logo, word mark. I can tell you what it is, and then I can tell you the price. But that's about a range. It just depends on, what you have going on.
Yeah, and a lot of times we look at the cost, or we ask the cost. I'm gonna tell you guys this: if Brittany would have charged me $10,000, and I had it because I did at that point because I was making a bunch of money, I would have paid it. Because listen, guys, I'm making hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars with this brand.
Hello.
So why would I say no? I don't want to actually own my brand for $10,000.
Yes.
See, a lot of people are trying to save $3,000 or $4,000, and they're missing out on $300,000 and $400,000. This guy literally called me before I had my business to where it's at now and said he'd offer me $300,000. So if somebody's willing to pay me $300,000 for my business, it's worth at least $3 million. Because the investor needs a return on their investment. So a lot of y'all are thinking about the cost of something and not thinking about the value of your brand. How much is your brand worth to you right now? That's what you want to ask yourself. Is my brand worth $10,000? We all watch Shark Tank. When people go to Shark Tank and they say, hey, I want 10% of my company for $100,000, which means their company cost is worth $1 million. And then Lori always asks them, do you have a patent? Do you have a trademark? And if they say no, that value goes all the way down.
Yep, it sure does.
If you have a trademark, you simply have an idea that anybody can copy.
And it's a liability.
Exactly, especially somebody with deep pockets.
Yes.
Right? If CNN want to come out with a Black Millionaires edition of They Gotta See Me, I don't care how much money they got.
Yep.
I don't care how much deep pockets they got. They gotta see me. We going to court, and I'm going to win, right? So
we got licensing agreement. We gonna work it out. We gonna get some money for.
Exactly. We gonna work on licensing, and let's talk about that. That's a good way to segue because a lot of people want to learn about different ways to make income. So give people some tips on, hey, let's say I do trademark my brand, but I'm a mother and I'm having kids or something, something happens and to where I got to step away from work and I don't want to do the business anymore, but I still own the trademark. What are some ways people can actually make additional income or they can turn that into an asset?
So when it comes to the licensing portion, once you file a trademark, you'll always have a trademark as long as you are using it. So you can't have a trademark if, say, 10 years down the line, you're no longer in business, it's over, and you didn't sell your business or sell your trademark or your logo, it's just a wash. But if you do go out of business or something like that, then like I said, that's an asset right there. That's money because, your trademark and all of that is the money at the end of the day. But so right here, if you were to want to put I think Target right now, they have like something for Black creators or design, stuff like that. So when you put your things in stores and etc., a portion of that fee is a licensing fee for your trademark. Or say if you're going somewhere and someone wants to put Black Millionaires on some type of display or such, or use Black Millionaires as a selling point, like, hey, we're associated with Black Millionaires, cut the check. Right. So like that, where people are benefiting off of having your trademark on whatever it is or your product wherever it is, they need to cut the check, pay money. So that's how it is for licensing. But of course, you know, you have to build up your brand. Now, ain't nobody gonna, if you not really investing in your brand, you're not really selling, you're not really pushing and building it up, of course you're not going to be able to make, you know, any money on the side with licensing because you haven't built a brand that people are trying to get for themselves. But it's definitely some money out there if you build up a brand properly. And a lot of, like you said, to piggyback off of the Shark Tank with trademarks, a lot of influencers now, I know a lot of people use influencers to, you know, advertise for them. If you don't have a registered trademark, most of them not fooling with you, not the big ones, because for instance, if say, I don't know, Jada, the Jada little baby girlfriend,
right?
If she were to advertise your lip gloss and your lip gloss makes over 100,000 and your name was considered infringing and you received a cease and desist letter from Rihanna that you're infringing on her Fenty brand, that means she coming after Jada because Jada done made money off your name and she coming after you. So they don't want that liability of whether or not you are, you know, if you own your name or if you do not own your name. And now it's just a trifecta of people being involved in litigation and legal issues.
Yes. So a lot of people don't understand when you're sitting down with serious people to do some type of negotiation, some type of contract, you're trying to get in retail, you're trying to sell on this big platform. If you don't even have a trademark, they're not even going to entertain you. However, let's say you're negotiating and Target says, hey, do you have a trademark? And you say,
oh, you ain't.
I applied for it, right? I applied for it and it's, you know, it's been 6 months. Right? Maybe you could negotiate your way through it and say, well, at least I applied for it. You took some type of action, right? But if you're sitting there and saying, yeah, I don't have a trademark and I haven't even applied for it, I don't even know if I can trademark my brand at all, they're going to cancel the meeting. The meeting is not even going to go on after that because you are showing them that you are not even serious. So why would they invest in your brand if you're not willing to protect and own your brand? Because
Exactly.
what they might do is say, oh, so you don't have a trademark? All right, we're going to have another meeting next week. And you come back and they didn't apply for the trademark.
Yep. They
and
trying to
$1 million lawyers, so now they're going to get it before you.
And they're going to try to flip something really quick and work their way. And then they'll be like, okay, I'll pay you this little bit right here and make you go on about your business. Even selling on Amazon now, they're requiring, I forgot the actual process that they have where I think a certain seller on Amazon, you have to have a registered trademark. I saw someone ask, let me hit these 2 questions. You do not, I think somebody said something about, do you have to have an LLC before a trademark? Technically, when we file trademarks, we put the trademark we put the LLC as the owner of the trademark. So if anything were to happen to James, Lord forbids, Black Millionaire is still going to go. Everything is still going to move. It owns the brand. So his family can do whatever they need to do. It's owned by Black Millionaires. So that's how we do it with LLCs. But we can also do your LLC. We do LLCs. And I forgot the other question. It's not too late. Like if you already have an LLC and doing business, yes, you can still trademark. I think I saw that question multiple times.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you have an LLC or C Corp, or even if you've been doing business without it, getting an LLC in certain states, I know in Georgia you can get one overnight for a couple $100, but other places it might take 3 to 5 business days. So even if you don't have your LLC, you can still apply for your trademark, because again, we talked about it's going to take some time. It's not like something that you can go buy in Starbucks, right? You actually have to apply and have all your ducks in order and things like that, in order to apply for your trademark to make it stronger, to increase the what's that called? The probability of it getting actually accepted. So it's a lot of things you have to do, but don't let that hinder you from actually seeing if your trademark is your brand name is even trademarkable. Like
right.
I called Brittany with I'm about to do this. I got this podcast idea. We got this idea. We got about to do this conference. And she like, I don't know about that. I didn't call you with several ideas. I was about to buy a domain name, guys. I was about to buy this domain name for $1,500, right? I put my card information in on GoDaddy, and something told me, call Brittany. Some told me like, let's call Brittany, because I was trying to do it for tax purposes too. It was like December 28th. So if I do it, I can write it off for that tax year. So I'm like, some told me like, call Brittany, right? Called her. She did her research, looked it up, and said, by the way, you're not gonna be able to trademark that. So I would in that situation, I would have wasted money. So a lot of y'all got brands and you don't even know if you can own it or not. So this is why you got to go book your free call with Brittany, and actually learn if you can actually trademark that name or not, because you might have to go back to the drawing board.
Oh, I hope I don't have to send y'all back to the drawing board. Oh, I hope not. But this happens often, and most of the time my clients come back with something way harder than they came with the first time. But yeah, it is important to make sure you have a trademarkable brand. If we like to start with the name first. If not, we'll go to the logo. I saw, now it's two questions that's standing out to me. We mix this up a lot. I'm glad somebody mentioned patents. So let me explain briefly, because I don't do patent law, but let me kind of tell you all, because some people are like, hey, I need a patent. I'm like, nah, this is a trademark. So a patent is something when you invent something, you create something. Like think about when the zipper was created, right? It's a two-sided with a little latch, and you move it up and down and it closes. That's like what you get a patent for. It's an invention, something that, hasn't been done, a way of doing things. That's what you do for a patent. Trademarks is like the brand. Trademark would be the brand that owns the zipper. And then a copyright is like if you write a book, you have literature, you have a lot of designs. If you're an artist, if you're a songwriter, you do copyright. So that's kind of like a difference between all of those. Yeah.
I see. Is your brand name and brand slogan two different trademarks? That's a good question.
It is a good question. Yes, it is. So your logo is a separate mark from your name. Your slogan is separate. Your colors, if you want to trademark like a particular color, like Coca-Cola red is trademarked. All of those require
Tiffany blue, that blue Tiffany.
Yeah, that's trademark. I have that right.
Jay-Z got a blue that he okay. I think Jay-Z has a blue that he has trademarked as well. So the best way to think about the name, logo, and slogan, the best example that I heard you give me is Nike. So we know the word Nike and the name of the company is Nike, so that's one trademark. The check or the swoosh, that's one trademark. And Just Do It is their slogan. That's another trademark. So that is three trademarks that their company has ownership of, in order to run their commercials and all that other stuff that they do, right? So you got to understand, if this is why trademarking is so important. Imagine if Nike didn't have Just Do It trademarked. Anybody can say Just Do It and put it on their brand.
And Nike do not play. I have a whole lot of folks. I'm from Mississippi. I'm gonna keep it real. Everybody got a cricket, and everybody making Nike shirts and Adidas, and I be like, oh my god, like, and I got a cricket too. I'm like, man, I'm not finna. I be having to check to make sure it say Nike in the back. But Nike do not play. They love their trademarks. They will come after anybody. So they are very serious. But that they mean business. They don't want nobody trying to just do nothing with their name.
Yeah. So that was a great question. Guys, drop your questions down below. Let's see.
I registered my pending business. Is that okay? Yes, that's fine. Okay. We can still move forward. Also, this is a good point. A lot of people mix this up. Your trademark and your LLC is not, they don't have to correlate. So your LLC can be Black Holding Sale, right?
Right.
And then your trademark is Black Millionaires. So your trademark and your LLC has nothing to do with each other. If it come back and I say, you have to change your name, this is already registered, and you like, well, I already got my LLC. Okay, that's fine, because Fenty is another prime example. When I order anything off Fenty, I look and I see, oh, this isn't Fenty, this is such and such. This doesn't say Fenty, this says such and such, but I know, oh, this is Fenty. Two different things. Like Fenty is the brand, the LLC is the business.
Yeah. Somebody said, what would a perfume categorize as? So could you trademark like a particular smell or something like that?
Yeah, you can trademark a smell, you can trademark a sound. You can, however, I will say now, that's like trademarking the red bottom on a Louboutin. Okay, you're gonna have to really show like this is a distinct smell that everybody knows. When you walk into this store, this is that smell. So if you trademark a something like that, I saw somebody ask, "Can you trademark your name?" Yes, but it depends, right? If it's a very common, most of the time you have to have some fire behind your name. You have to be, well known. Like you have to really have some weight behind it if you're able to trademark a name.
I asked you that question. That's a very good question because my personal brand is James Hill TV. That's what I go by, right? A lot of people, oh, James Hill TV, what's up? When they see me out, right? So Black Millionaires, a lot of people know Black Millionaires and they don't know James Hill TV.
Yeah.
Right? But they know when they see me and they like, hold on, you the guy from, what I'm saying, Black Millionaires. I'm like, yeah, what's up, right? So a good example is I can trademark Black Millionaires because it has a lot more clout and a lot more influence than James Hill TV. But like Tyler Perry, don't nobody know the name of his company. All they know is Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
So Tyler Perry can literally trademark Tyler Perry because you can't put Tyler Perry on a logo or a flyer and have his picture next to it because people gonna think he gonna be there. So he will come sue you even though that's his actual name. And then if you have a company and the name of your company is your name, like for example, Morgan Stanley is a financial service company.
Yeah.
That person's real name is Morgan Stanley, but they built a brand up so prominent that nobody even know who Morgan Stanley is. They just know the name Morgan Stanley.
Yep.
So if you're going to build up your brand and use your personal name or your last name or middle name, you just got to build the brand up enough to get it trademarkable like any other brand.
Right. That's it. That was a good point. I'm ready to tackle James Hill TV, but we're gonna talk about that.
Somebody said, how do we
doing stuff, right? Since we did Black Millionaires, you got me really out here on edge doing crazy stuff. Okay, I have to tell people like, hold on, wait, I can't do another Black Millionaire style. I need to recover from that.
They say, how do we book a call with you, Brittany? Click the link in her bio. I'm pretty sure a bunch of people are already booked, so you want to make sure you get on there before the appointments are booked up, and they're absolutely free, right? This is not a sales pitch.
Discovery call. We're gonna kind of discuss. I want to know your name, so don't call, don't get on the phone. Talk about. I don't want to say nothing. What's your name? Let me see your logo. We finna dive deep. I need to know what's going on. So yes, a 15-minute call. We'll go over everything. I'll let you know what I think and how to move forward with me. I see it's a nurse on here. I have a lot of nurse friends. Yes, I help nurses actually. One of them, I just did her a trademark for her business, and she's doing very well. And I have another nurse. They have a restaurant. I'm working with them.
Somebody said file taxes on the trademark or all under your personal. So no, you're not understanding what a trademark is. So a trademark is an asset of the business. A trademark don't file taxes. The business files taxes. The trademark is something you can own personally or you can own in your business. We recommend, like Brittany said, don't own it personally because if you're going up the road or you driving and you hit somebody and they try to sue you and they realize, oh, you ain't got $1 million, but you got this business, now your business is exposed to that, right? Which brings up another thing, right? A lot of y'all don't understand how important it is to have your paperwork in order. You gotta have your business registered, your LLC, whatever, and you gotta have your trademarks because these things only come up and they only matter when somebody trying to either steal your brand or somebody trying to sue you or something like that.
It's
all good when you're getting these orders online and you're making all this money and you're on the beach and all of that. But when somebody try to sue you or somebody try to take your brand or somebody trying to acquire and buy your brand, that's when people are going to ask you, do you have a trademark? That's when that stuff is going to matter.
Exactly. When it's too late. K_adore. I work with clients all over the United States. But yes, pretty much a trademark is like a trademark in the LLC and everything with the business. The background stuff is there and you have to make sure it's all good in case something goes bad. That's the whole point of making sure all your paperwork and business is handled properly. I always say do business the right way. And that's it.
Somebody said, can your own trademark be owned by a trust? Yes, it can. So, Brittany, I was actually going to call you about that because I'm setting my trust up. So I was going to see how I can transfer the ownership of it to my trust.
In short, yes, it can. It's not a complicated, but it's kind of a complex process. The attorney handling your trust will be the one to transfer the property, the owner.
Yeah, so and sure, I'll just regurgitate what my trademark, I mean not my trademark, my trust attorney told me because when I talked to her, I told her about you and I told her that you helped me with my trademarks and stuff like that. And I told her about wanting to put it in my family trust and when I get that established. And basically what it is you set up a trust and your trust is its own entity. So
right.
It's complex to set up a trust, which is why you work with an attorney. But once you get that set up, I would just have to go to Brittany and say, hey, this is my trust name, and then I don't know if they give you an EIN number or something like that, but
yeah, need it. We would just have to have the trust name, and we'll submit a regular transfer of rights, just like any other name we would do.
Oh, this is a good question. Do you have to trademark different sayings on the shirt? So I'll answer this and then I'm gonna let you answer that. It depends. Again, let's go back to the Nike slogan. Let's go back to the Nike slogan. If Nike have just do it, then yes, they got to trademark that. But like this shirt here, it says Black Millionaires. I have to trademark that. But look at this shirt right here. Right? I'm selling a shirt that says entrepreneur. I don't have to trademark this. Because for one, entrepreneur is just something that goes with my brand. It's not something that I own. Anybody can say and use the word entrepreneur, or anybody could use that logo. So if somebody come out with that, I'm gonna be irritated. But I didn't create that. I just thought it was a good idea. But pretty much anybody could steal that idea. Anybody could put this on their shirt though.
Right.
So you have to, and I'm gonna let you go in a little more in depth on that. It depends on the logo, basically.
Right. So basically, I try to break it down because clients ask this all the time. Think about Old Navy. Everybody know Old Navy or something like that, or Fashion Nova. They have shirts with all the different sayings on them. And this goes back to what I said a trademark is. Remember, I said a trademark is an identification of your brand. It's a brand name. So the brand would be what's in the back of the tag on the shirt. The shirt can say whatever, but it's not the brand. So we can't mix up, what's on the shirt by thinking it's the brand. Entrepreneurs on James' shirt is not his brand. That's just the saying. So no, you would not trademark all the different slogans. That would be expensive too. You wouldn't trademark all the different slogans. You might now if you have a certain like design that is specifically like you created and drew out this really cool design from scratch, you might want to copyright that design. If you own ownership of that design, and then your brand can use that design, but not slogans and words on the shirt.
Is a U.S. copyright and trademark the same? No, it's not. I'm gonna let you answer that, Brittany.
No, it's not. Copyright, like I said, is literature, a song, a book, a poem, and then trademarks is, like I said, a brand, like a brand name, to protect the service or good that you provide.
Yeah, so that's ask some more questions, guys. You guys are coming with
Mississippi. Can I work with people in Mississippi? Yes, I'm from the SIP. So yes, I can work with people in Mississippi. I have Mississippi clients actually. Yep. And let me see. Do I remember any other questions? Y'all been good. I hope y'all been enjoying this information. I haven't been live in a minute. My clients have kept me busy. So I'm kind of back in action this month, accepting new clients. Schedule opened up a lot more. So
that's what's up. Hold on. Can you trademark an NFT art? I'm not sure if you yeah, that's a good question. What about an NFT like artwork?
If it's artwork, that's copyright.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have it attached. Remember, like I said, you all, in order to trademark, it has to be attached to a good or service. Remember, a good is a candle, a shirt, a hair comb, eyeglasses, anything, something tangible. That's a good. So the trademark has to be attached to the good, or you have to provide a service. You have to do lashes. You have to be a counselor, a therapist, a teacher, some type of service. It has to be attached to that. If you can't attach the brand or whatever it is to the good that you provide, meaning if you ship it out, it's gonna have that logo or that design that you did on it. Or if somebody book an appointment with you and they come, you give them a card and it has that design, it's not trademarkable. That's more so copyright, or it could be a patent, but that's not a patent. But I'm just saying that particular intellectual property is not a trademark. Yes, I have a lot of clients in New York.
What was I just had a question that just came over me, man, and you said something that made me think about it. Dang, I got to come back to it because it was a real good question. I think it'll be able to help a lot of people out. Let's look at a few different more questions. Oh, let's talk about that. So, your usernames on social media, right? So, what are some other things that people could do to strengthen their application in order to get a trademark? Usernames, domain name, like what else? What would you recommend people start to build up while that year is coming up, whether they're filing a 1A or a 1B, to strengthen their application?
Of course, you want to have like the Instagram, right? Like if you can get the Instagram name without having to put anything extra in it, that's like a good heavy hitter, especially when we have to go after and shut other pages down, right? So also the domain. A lot of people like to do the .shop, the .net, because the other thing was taken. If something is taken and you got to do all of this extra stuff to your domain, it's probably a strong indication that we might see something back on that search report that's going to cause you to have to start over. Maybe that name is already trademarked. Even if it's in a different class, that could cause, issues. It just depends. So having the domain, a good domain, having the names on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of that, that's good. One thing we do as minorities, Black people, we always trying to keep something. The quicker you use it, the better off you are with trademarks. It's the first person to use, first person to file. So when people be like, I'm sitting on them, holding back, I be like, I had one guy I spoke to, I think it was this week. He was telling me about his business, great name, everything good. I was like, he got the products, the website, everything ready to roll. I'm waiting. I'm like, if you don't hurry up and put this out, we need to roll. Like, I need to have a date. When we file those applications, I have to put a date down when you first use it. So then the next person that come, the USPTO will see, oh, no, you came after them, so bye-bye. Or if the next person that come actually came before you, that's like, an indication like we need those dates. Dates matter when it comes to trademarks. So don't sit on stuff. We try to sit on stuff, hold stuff back, keep it on the low. I don't want nobody to know what I'm doing. So. All that. We ain't got time for that. We need to get it out. If you got it, get it ready to roll and let's go.
This is a good question. They're talking basically asking about international Since a lot of things are made in China, can I trademark my brand in the U.S. and in China? So basically, what's the international exposure to once you get a trademark?
Okay, so for honestly, I think I want to say the U.S. We take trademarking more seriously than other countries. You have to get an attorney from overseas to do your trademark over there.
Yeah, guys, I don't know what happened. We're gonna get Brittany back on here. I'm not sure what happened. Instagram just kicked us off. I'm not sure what happened, but we back at it. IG kicked us off, but we back. I don't know what happened with that.
Overseas, that's what I was on. Hey, IG hating for real. They know we giving out some good gems.
I don't know what happened. It just says your live ended, and I'm like, whoa, not sure what happened.
Hold on, let me. Okay, so I'm gonna continue, and then the fictional character. I'm gonna answer your question. But for you, it doesn't matter where you get your products from. You can get from Timbuktu. It has nothing to do with your brand, right? Think about Nike. We all know Nike get all their stuff from China. They have a million trademarks. I can't even. They have a slew, hundreds and hundreds of trademarks. So yes, it doesn't matter where you get your products. You can trademark your brand here in the United States. If you need a trademark in the other countries, of course you have to get an attorney in the country that you choose. And then, can you trademark a fictional character? Yes, you can trademark a fictional character as long as it is, like I said, tied to a good or a service. Disney, for instance, Cinderella. Cinderella has her own clothing line. Cinderella has her own makeup line. Yes, it's a fictional character. Yes, they have a trademark. They sell goods. That is your answer for that one. You can also write this off on your taxes. Someone else asked that question. You can write your trademark, the money you spend on your trademark, write it off on your taxes.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's a business expense. I mean, that's probably the best business expense you're gonna spend all year. Anytime you work with a lawyer, accountant, somebody like that, some professional legal services, you writing that off 100%. So if you don't have your LLC or whatever, I would encourage you to get it within that year of you getting your trademark, so you can write all of that off, and you can make sure you get the.
I'm scared to touch the screen. I'm scared to touch the screen.
Yeah,
I'm scared to touch the screen, but I seen one of my clients' late statements. Yes, we gotta follow up. We finna do the logo next. Somebody, I think they said something about common names. Yes, I did a post about Apple. You can trademark common names. Here's the trick: the name can't describe what you do, and that goes for anything. We are known for doing this too. If your name describes exactly what you sell, so if I read your name, I know, oh, if Apple sold apples, they would not be able to have that trademark. If you sold chicken and your name was Chicken Coop, the only thing you will be able to get is Coop, and they're probably going to deny that as descriptive as well because chickens are in coops.
Oh, that's good sauce right there. I didn't know that actually. So I'm learning on here with y'all. I didn't know. So, you know what? That makes sense now, because one of the things that I was trying to trademark, I couldn't do it, and you told me, you was like, well, you can't trademark that. You only can trademark this.
Exactly.
Part of it because of that. Oh,
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense now.
Now you get it after I went over it on the phone and all of this.
Yeah, I mean, once you told me, I mean, I trust you. So once you said no, I'm like, well, you know what I'm saying? Let's move on to something else, right? I'm not gonna cry over spilled milk. But now it just hit me now. Like, that's why I can't trademark that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
A lot of people get kicked back for that. I have to kick it back, but most of the time I address that right in our first call, because when you tell me your name, I tell you if it's descriptive, or most of the time I see the name. You have to enter in your information when you book a call with me, so I can study it. I want to look. I want to check your Instagram. I want to see your website. I want to prepare myself for our call, so then I can tell you right then, you know. And a lot of times we good for adding in essentials, naturals, apparel. Name. We need to think about the names also. Like when you walk into Macy's or something like that, it doesn't say Brittany Thompson glamour apparel. It's just a solid name. Like keep it simple. We got Fenty, you got, you know, easy names that, you know, set themselves apart. Like we don't have to have 10 words in your brand name. Like keep it clean, keep it simple. Same for your logo designs. A lot of logo designs, we use the crown. Everybody got a crown, right? Everybody want a crown. We done with crowns in 2022 and the logos. We don't want the, you know, the glittery logos. Those are hard to try to trademark. Think simplicity with your logos and your brand. This is my logo right here. Like it's so plain, but this stands out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, you just said why does adding glitter and glam and all that to your logo, why does that make it harder to trademark?
Well, generally, if you're not going to claim colors and, you know, different things in your trademark, then it's going to be considered a black and white trademark. And then most of the glitter designs are like, you know, homegirl who is chef, she probably got it, make her, it be her face and it be glitter. And she was like, can I get this trademark? I'm like, nah, sis, go back to the drawing board. You know what I'm saying? We might get the name, but the, you know, certain logos we can't do. And remember, also, we can't do Canva logos. You can't trademark a Canva logo. So you don't own the rights to it. They're giving you a license to use it. So whenever you go to these graphic design artists, make sure that they are transferring the intellectual property rights to you so you can go and trademark it. What you don't want to happen is you go to a graphic design artist, they design it, they hold the rights, and then you blow up. You become a millionaire, and they say, "Oh, bring that back," because you try to trademark this and I own the copyright. This is my design. I let you license this. You don't own that. So make sure when you're working with a graphic design artist that they transfer the intellectual property rights to you.
That's a gem. Listen, if you ain't getting nothing out of anything we talked about today, that's a gem. A lot of people don't know that, and they're on Canva. Y'all didn't hear me when I said I designed my logo on Adobe Illustrator. Mm-hmm. I'm not a graphic designer, but I knew if I did it on Canva or one of these other sites, it's not mine, because none of us ever read the fine print, right? Mm-hmm. All of us always just click yes, yes, yes. I know you probably the only person I know that goes to read it, right? But I know I don't, right? So we gotta make that a habit, especially when we're talking about building $1 million brands. Yep. Look on Canva last night. I'm sorry.
I done told y'all I'm gonna have to do the Canva post. Oh man, I gotta do the Canva post. I'm gonna put it up.
Could you talk about different classes? Because a lot of times people see a big brand or they see a company that has a name trademarked, but don't understand that yes, they could trademark it, but it would have to be in a different class.
Yeah. So let's use Delta. You got Delta Airlines, Delta Faucets. So when we file trademarks, we have to select a class to put your trademark in. So I forgot all your, no, I didn't forget all your classes. We got 41, 35, 25. Yeah, right now. So we have 3 classes for you. Mm-hmm. So when we do the application, we select the class and it says, okay, hey, this person is in this bubble, and we just want to make sure that nobody else in this bubble has the exact name, just so there's no conflict. But if someone else in another class has the same name, as long as it doesn't blur the lines, then we should be good. You can have the same name. So Delta Airline, Delta Faucets, they have similar colors, which is crazy, but you can't confuse Delta Faucets with Delta Airlines, because if I'm sitting at home and I'm like, I'm gonna, you know, go to Mexico, I need to book a flight, and I say, let me check Delta, you know I'm not talking about Delta Faucets, the people that make toilets, you know I'm talking about Delta Airlines. Or when I'm at Home Depot and I say, you know, I'm looking for a toilet seat, I need to check Delta, you know I'm not talking about the airline, I'm talking about Delta Faucets. So you can have 2 names same names and still get a trademark as long as they don't cross over. Now, if you're in class 41, which is where you are, James, that's like one of your trademarks. That's where you do entertainment services. You might do educational speaking engagements, things like that. Most of them cross over into class 25 and class 35. Class 25 is your apparel. So most people like Beyonce, Rihanna, they have trademarks. Of course, they're in class 41 for entertainment, but they also have their brand and they have paraphernalia. So they also have a class 25. That's something that can easily be interchangeable. It's kind of a known fact that if they're in 41, they might dip into 25. So that could cause confusion.
Yeah.
So it just depends. So we would decide the best class to put you in.
Yeah, another good one is Pandora. You got Pandora bracelet,
Pandora bracelet, Pandora music. Yep.
Yeah, that one's really good. Maybe an information overload. So do the lawyer do most of the work? That's the point. That's the point we're trying to get across. You pay a lawyer so you don't have to have information overload. I'm an entrepreneur. I don't have to become a lawyer.
Yeah.
Right. I don't have to become the expert at trademarking. Guess what I'm gonna become an expert at? Hiring other experts.
Yep, that's what I am too.
If you want to grow your brand, become an expert at hiring other experts to get the same goals accomplished. Not, when you need to buy a house, do you build the house yourself no, you hire a construction company.
Exactly.
Right? You don't do everything on your own, right? It's some things you can do on your own, but trademarking and your intellectual property, that's not something you want to touch on your own, because one mistake can cost you your entire brand and your entire business, and then you're going to have to pay a lawyer to go through and redo.
Sure. Yeah, you do. I get it so much. I applaud people for trying, but then when you come to me, I still have to start the process pretty much over, and now I got to deal with an agitated attorney with the USPTO, because they're going to be agitated that they didn't have to even try to maneuver and figure out what the heck did this person do on this application, and then I got to come in and rework it. So it's just best to let some things be left to the experts and let us do it. That was a good one. But this information, my clients know I need them to be educated on what's going on, right? First, they need to know that I know what I'm doing, and I don't have to look and try to figure out what I'm doing and look at this lawyer and see, well, how I do this. Now, when you come over here to Your Brand's law firm, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to get you across the finish line. And I like to communicate with my clients, and I like them to be educated. I don't like speaking with people, and they leave me and they don't have a clue what we talked about. They don't know what their lawyer doing. You just pay money and it's just like, oh, I don't know. My clients know, yeah, my lawyer know this, got this going on and taking care of this. That's what you need to look for. Don't just be out here paying money.
Yeah, I love that, because a lot of times we, like the young lady just did, you soak up so much information to the point where in your mind you're thinking, oh, I gotta go do all of this. So you learn some new information and then you think, oh, I took all these notes, I gotta go do all this. We're giving you all this information so you can make a better decision on the person you're actually going to work with. That's why we're giving this information. I'm new to
our credit score.
Somebody, what's y'all credit score? Actually, my credit score is pretty good. I just got another American Express card for my business.
No credit help at all. I'm seeing really good over here, actually.
What's the fee of a trademark? So it depends on the your brand and complexity of your brand. No trademark application is going to be the same. Yeah. So if you're asking a fee, it's kind of like asking, let me give a good example of it's kind of like asking, how much is this surgery gonna cost? Well, I don't know. Right, yeah. I gotta actually check you out. I don't know if you're healthy enough for the anything. Gotta have a good credit to make sure they know.
That's so funny. I don't know why I pointed out that credit question.
Yeah,
but it really just depends. You know what I'm saying? Like I try my best. Now, a lot of people do not offer free discovery calls, but I want to give you the opportunity to tell me what you got going on, and I can tell you whether it's a good trademark, whether it's trademarkable at all, and what the price is going to be in order for me to handle it.
Yeah, I told you. I paid the first person I talked to. I paid $250. We was on the phone 5 minutes, and that person told me they couldn't do nothing for me.
James, can you put my contact information in there? I don't know how to do that.
I'll just have to tag your. If you guys click up here,
Oh, there you
you can
go.
just literally click up here and follow her without even leaving the live. So that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, that's how to work that. But somebody was asking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I try my best. I really do. His IG.
Brands lawyer.
I'm information. Like I'm trying to put. It be going. I'm gonna get to the screen. What's some other questions?
Oh
Anything
yeah, it's moving. It's moving real fast. Hold on.
it's scared to touch because I don't want to mess up. Now I let you ask. Tell me if I can catch the question.
I mean, people just on there joking, talking about credit and all that now. So let's just give people if people don't have any more questions.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Procreate? What is that?
What is that?
I don't know. Somebody just asked, what about using that? I ain't never heard of that.
Is that a what is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Get as long as when it comes to your logo design, as long as you are not using a template owned by another company or something like that, and you actually create it, then you're definitely in the clear to, trademark. But you got to remember, if you on these sites like Canva and I don't know another one, but if you're on a site like Canva and both people have the same star with a wave, and you submit these two trademarks, it's gonna be like, huh, what's this? It's the same design. Like it's gonna be like a red flag. So you just can't own Canva stuff. Like Canva owns the right to it.
Yeah.
Procreate is a creative app like Adobe. Yeah, as long as it's not like a template, you should be good.
Yeah, I mean, apps like Adobe, Photoshop, and Illustrator, you build those from scratch, right? That's why you can trademark something from Adobe and not Canva. Canva gives you templates, they give you fonts, they give you all of that. So Canva makes it easy for you. Adobe makes it a little more challenging, but in business, nothing is going to be easy. So if it's easy, you probably can't trademark it and use it.
Exactly. Somebody asked, is there a fee, an annual fee for a trademark? No. Once you get your trademark, we have to renew every 10 years. So you'll have, it depends on what your trademark is, how many classes, all of that. But it's every 10 years. We'll have to go back in, show that you're still using it, pay a small fee, and then we're done.
Yes. Here's another tip I think will help a lot of clothing brands out. One thing you told me when I was trying to trademark my for clothing, the class for clothing, I had to get my tag. I had to have my tags actually on my merchandise on my web for them to push that through. So I think that's really important because a lot of guys have clothing lines or your brand sells merchandise, and you're not going to be able to get that trademark if you don't have the actual tag with your name on it.
Yes, that's a good one. I'm glad you thought about that. When you start and then you have a clothing brand, I need to know that in the back of the shirt it's a tag or have a tag attached to it with the brand name on it. Just like if you were to go to a store, it's going to be tagged with like who the shirt is by. I think I forgot what the other question was.
A lot of people, how long is the process? 12 to 18 months.
Yep.
Right? Is that?
Yep.
Is that okay? I think somebody said, "What if you do it yourself?" So here, let me. So listen. I tried to do my trademark on my own.
because I'm an independent person. I'm a start. I get up and get started. Here's the problem with that. You're communicating with lawyers that work for the government. And if you know anything about a lawyer, they have a whole different language. That's why they went to school and studied that, and they are an expert at law. They might say 5 or 6 things to you, and you don't know what they talking about. I don't know what this.
They're gonna do it on purpose, though. They're going to do that on purpose,
Right? Which is why everybody who is in business and they're serious, they have a lawyer, so the lawyer can communicate with the other lawyer, because there's a level of respect there, and there's a level of communication there that you as the entrepreneur, you just don't have. So don't try to become your own lawyer. If you don't have enough to get your trademark, then that's up to you to put your business in place and save your money so you can invest in your brand. But just because a trademark costs money don't mean you gotta either try to do it cheap and do it by yourself, because cheap is not always the best way to go, and you're going to spend more money trying to undo some of the cheap things you did. Imagine if you did your whole house cheap, right? And then a storm came, blew your house away. Now you got to go redo the whole thing and spend more money, right? So make sure you become an expert at hiring somebody else. You're a business trademark.
Can you get it down? Can you take? I think I saw it, but I couldn't catch it. You know, I'm not touching my screen.
If it says if you are approved for your business trademark and someone has your IG or Facebook handle, can you request it from them? So here's the thing. Instagram and Facebook and all these social media platforms, they have it in their community guidelines and terms that whoever is the first person to use the username, they get to keep it. However, if they are on there selling similar products and services, you can sue them, right? And when you sue them, you're suing them for using your products and services, and you're suing them for the name. So Instagram is going to be like, no, actually, we can't take that down if they're not doing something that violates their terms and services. Now, those pages we got taken down, they were trying to basically duplicate my page and duplicate my brand. Yeah. So we were able to get them taken down, but it's pages out there that are basically bot pages that has my name. I can't get that taken down off Instagram because they're not violating any terms. They're basically squatting with my name. So I actually got to try to reach out to the person and say, hey, I pay you for it. But the minute they get to using it in commerce, then I can sue them. But if they never use it, I just got to put an underscore on my name and keep it moving.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the sucky part. And I mean, us attorneys, we gripe and complain. It's like a daily thing for us. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, our side conversations when it comes to trade, like intellectual property and social media, like they don't have any respect, or like it's just they don't care about intellectual property. Like, we really have to go in to get this stuff removed. So when I do get something removed, I'll be like, oh my God. I'd be so excited, but then I call James and I'm like, it was removed. Good news.
Yeah. I think the last time we got like 7 or 8 pages removed. But some of the pages didn't get removed because they wasn't posting anything and they were just sitting on the name. So unfortunately, I can't do anything about that. Yeah. But people who are trying to use your brand, let's say you got a t-shirt company, somebody got your same name, you got a trademark, but they're selling t-shirts or some type of merchandise, you can get them removed because at that point they are violating your trademark. But if they're not violating your trademark, based on social media rules, it's pretty much nothing you can do.
Yeah. And then I saw someone asked about copywriting their jewelry. Tricky when it comes to apparel and clothing, right? Because think about it, Fashion Nova has everything: Gucci, Balenciaga, Alexander McQueen. Every design that comes out, it's duplicated by ASOS, Fashion Nova, Shein. So when it comes to apparel and, you know, things, clothing, any type of clothing, jewelry, it's very hard. It's something that you could try. You could try to copyright your design, but that doesn't mean that someone won't recreate and slightly change up one little niche on the necklace.
Yeah, so I mean, in that situation, a lot of times when we're buying Gucci or Louis or all of that, we're not actually buying the cloth, we're buying the brand name,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because if something has Gucci on it, you're going to perceive it as a higher value because they have a luxury brand. It doesn't mean that shirt is a higher quality than the shirt I sell. However, if I'm selling a regular blank t-shirt and they're selling a blank t-shirt with Gucci on it, in the consumer's mind, they're going to think, well, that shirt is worth 400 because it got Gucci on it, and that
Mm-hmm.
shirt is worth $4 because it's blanked. So
Yeah.
the real value is in the brand name, not the actual cloth that is being sold. That's what we're trying to tell and communicate to you guys. The real money is in owning the brand, owning
Right.
the not actually owning the products.
Right. And I feel the last couple of questions right here regarding like, well, can you trademark the design? Remember, like I said earlier, and I hate to beat a what is it, a dead horse or whatever they say, but I gotta understand this because a lot of people don't. In order, when you trademark something, you have to attach it to a good or service. If you're not selling nothing or if you're not providing a service with the brand, like the Nike check, if you're not doing, massages as Nike or selling tennis shoes as Nike, it ain't no trademark going on.
Yeah,
So you
that's
add
very
whatever it is to a good or service.
that's very important. It has to be a good service in use. You can't just really buy something and sit on it just so somebody else can't use it, right?
Mhm. And then somebody asked, I don't know the answer to this question, but how do you get your clothes tagged? I just tell y'all you got to do it, but I don't know how to tell you.
Oh,
Well,
so let me show you guys. So whoever you're using, you can do it yourself, obviously, but it's going to take longer. I have my shirt screen printed. So
Mhm.
when you are going to design your shirt, the screen printer is going to charge you for this design because it's on the front and this design. So you need an actual design for the size you use on your shirt. Um, and they're going to print that as well. So this costs money and this costs money. So if I simply get this printed, it's going to cost me, let's say, $2 a shirt. But if I get this printed, it's going to cost me $3 a shirt because this costs $1 to get it printed, and I take it to get a screen printed. So that's something whoever you're using in order to screen print your shirt, direct the garment. What is the other thing people do? It's not embroidery,
Yeah.
um, heat press, whatever you're doing, you have to heat press it on your actual tag. And I had one of my team members do it. Um, when I sent you that photo, I didn't actually have the shirts that I'm showing now. I had one
Uh,
of my team members actually heat press it on just
uh,
so we send you something because I didn't have it at first. So that's okay if you guys don't have it and you don't have enough money to add that extra dollar cost into your inventory. Just take one of your shirts, take it up to the local screen printing shop, pay $10 or $15 to have them screen printed on one shirt just to send in with your application, take a photo. So in a year when they're reviewing your application or in 6 months or whatever, that you bought enough time to actually have enough money to buy the tags on the back of your shirt. So that's pretty much what I did. You don't have to start out like that, but you need at least one or two shirts that has your tag so you can put it online um send it in to the trademark people.
and I seen somebody ask, do you have to have your website ready? It depends. So if you're providing a service, I need either your business card or your flyer that shows, the service you offer and how to book your service. Or you can have your website ready to roll. Like if you drop ship and you don't have your products on hand, then I need your website ready to roll. If you
Mhm.
already have products sitting in your garage and you doing your own packaging, then you can give me your products. It just really depends. But most of my clients drop ship where they don't have products on hand, so I need their websites in order to get started. And when I say website, I don't need it to say coming soon. I need to see a basket at the top. I need to be able to go and put something in the basket. I can't do a pre-order either. I need to show the stuff ready for me to place an order. So these are the different things. And once you come in as a client, of course, like we're holding your hand the whole way. Like I'll, we'll say, hey, we need this. Hey, can you get this done? Okay, we need this done in order for us to continue the process. But we're doing the heavy lifting. We just got to make sure you all provide us with everything we need.
Yeah, you got like the online portal and everything,
Yeah.
to where people, all this information that we're giving you, well, not we, she has the online portal to where if I wanted to check on a trademark that I had going on, I don't actually have to call her. I can go on the portal and see, oh, this is the progress that they're waiting on my documents, or these are the documents that's needed. Oh, they need my EIN number. They need my the business name, whatever, right? So it's very easy and simple, and that's because we don't want you to become a lawyer just to protect your brand. We want you to work with a great lawyer to protect your brand.
And I mean, as a business owner myself, I invested money and paid somebody to make me a flawless system. Well, semi-flawless. We have a couple of mistakes sometimes. Emails act funny. Right? But my clients love my emails. I work hard on them emails, okay? So, I had to invest in my brand just like everybody have to invest who coming to me investing in their brand. That's why I take this so serious. I do not play by my clients, and they know. Okay, I will switch up real quick. Women are like this, and don't play with them because you're playing with me and you don't want to play with me. So, it just kind of depends. I have my Memphis side come out.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's answer a few more questions before I got to get up out of this thing. Truth.
Yes.
And continue.
Skeleton.
Yes, for the people. I don't know what they're asking.
For what you need, show invest, right? Invest in yourself. I can't, like, the return I got after investing in my brand and changing stuff up. I'm still shocked. I can't even believe it. Like,
but here's the thing about investing in yourself, right? And I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna just tell you guys exactly how it is with me in business. A lot of times, especially minorities who are trying to hold on, they got their first good job, or they saved their first $10,000, and they just want to hold on to all of that money, or they just want to hold on and never really invest in their brand. You personally are not going to take your brand serious if you are not willing to invest in it. It's some products or services that I buy that I don't get the value out of that specific product, or I don't get repaid from that specific product. I get repaid through owning that product or through paying that product. So for example, my trademark doesn't pay me anything, right? I have the trademark, so I get paid because I have it, right? So if you're thinking about getting your brand trademarked and protected, and you're thinking, okay, what's going to be the return on my investment? The trademark is the whole company. Because if somebody comes trademark your name, you got to start from ground zero. So a lot of us are thinking about, okay, if it costs this much, when am I get a return on my investment? Well, that's up to you. How good are you at business, right? Are you going to actually use the trademark? Are you going to actually grow your brand and invest in your products and sell your products? So stop looking at everything as an expense and look at it as an investment. And with investments, just because you put, $10,000 over here for something doesn't mean you're going to get that $10,000 back from that specific place. You might get $100,000 from somewhere else, but because you put that $10,000 there. So it's a lot of things in my business that I had to stay consistent on simply because I put the money up.
Right.
I over $100,000 in ads in my first year in business. So you think I'm gonna quit on my business? No, I'm too deep in. I'm way too deep in. And a lot of y'all quit on y'all businesses and you don't invest because you ain't paid nothing. You ain't invested nothing. So you ain't got nothing to lose. Yeah, you can have 10 LLCs but you ain't really making no money from it because it don't really cost you that much to get started with that. But when it comes to protecting your brand, investing in your brand, that's where people get shaky and they get cold feet and they start asking a bunch of questions because now you got to be consistent. If you actually get that trademark, now you actually got to be consistent.
Yeah.
You actually got something to protect now.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people they got cold feet and they scared to invest in a brand because now you're going to be held. Like, let's say you invest in your brand and you spend all this money, and your wife's sitting there, and y'all having financial troubles, and she said, "Well, you put all the money in this business. We need to go run it. Go run the business, right?" And
Right.
a lot of people don't want that pressure to actually get up and run that business, so they sit on the sideline and don't invest. Get off the sideline, own your own brand, actually invest in yourself for once, and you're going to see those dividends from your brand when you actually own it, right? So that's what I tell people all the time. If you're not willing to invest, you don't actually own a brand. You're just somebody with an LLC, and sure, you're on the government website, but that's it.
And you renting your name. You just waiting on me to come in and send you a cease and desist.
Yeah. So let's take one more question, and we're gonna get up out. I'm gonna get up out of this
Who
thing.
we got?
Can you trademark in a nonprofit, or does the business model matter?
Yes, you can trade business. Like I said, the business, the LLC, corporation, nonprofit, whatever you have has nothing to do with a brand that you trademark. I've trademarked multiple. So yes, that was a good.
Yeah, that's a real good question. So it doesn't matter as long as you own the trademark, you are good to go. It don't look like we got no more questions. We got a bunch of people on here. We gave so much game.
This was good. This was good. Look at my client, Slade. I mean,
we gave so much game. So, guys, click up here. If you click up here, you can literally follow her and then click the link in her bio and set up a call. I know she got a bunch of people who already set up calls on here. I just checked my DMs on my other phone, and people are telling me thank you for bringing her on here. They just booked a call. So I appreciate you. You know, you can come on here anytime, whenever. We want to give the people some game on trademarking, because we can talk about this forever, because I'm all about building your brand. And there's some people I don't even work with. Hey, can you help me grow my brand? All right, you got to get a trademark. Why do I got to get a trademark before you help me? Because if I help you grow this brand and you lose it, then what?
what are we doing? What are we doing?
I'm 54 a call. It's free. Go sign up.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so excited. Thank you so much, James. I'm sure we're gonna be on the phone later.
Yeah.
So thank you all. I'm looking forward to helping you all. Like you said, make sure you follow me, schedule your discovery calls. I look forward to working with all of you.
All right. Peace out. I appreciate you.